They say the gods touch some men, not with blessings, but with fire. The blood of emperors is a poison, tasting of both divinity and madness. The stage of power demands a flawless performance.
A better mask. Always a better mask.
The poet in the emperor saw the world as raw clay.
History whispers of a power so absolute.
This city is merely stone. It lacks poetry. To be great, he felt, was to create a spectacle no one could forget.
Shadows hold secrets whispered only in fear.
They say his verses are fire and blood. Sing, muse, of the glorious ruin.
His private performances grew darker, his audience more captive.
His art requires too great a cost.
For the new golden age must be baptized in awe. The soul of the Empire rots from within, demanding a surgeon's blade. This madness must end.
Do you know beauty, old man? True, terrifying beauty. The fire was a concept, long before it was an event. We saw not monuments, but kindling.
The Flavian circus is too dull. I need a grand stage.
On the night of July 18th, the performance began.
The gods were restless that night, their anger simmering beneath the stones of the Eternal City.
They called it the Eternal City, but the flames cared not for titles.
Fire! The whole Subura is ablaze!
The breath of Vulcan had touched the heart of the world.
The fall of Troy! The perfect setting! He did not merely watch, he conducted.
Hold tight! Do not let them...
They thought their walls impenetrable, their order eternal. But the rot came from within. Form ranks.
History was being rewritten, not by pen, but by cinder.
Beautiful. Never before has such a stage been lit. The gods have abandoned us.
7 days and 7 nights, the furnace roared. A grand inspiration, Caesar. Truly grand. And then, the question, who would pay for the masterpiece? The city must be rebuilt as a monument to me. The ashes spoke of guilt, and the emperor required a scapegoat.
Followers of Christos, they are outsiders. Filth! They blame us for their god's wrath!
They sought solace in the shadows, clinging to a faith deemed madness by the Empire.
Their suffering
Does it not improve the lighting?
He turned death into theater, the darkness into his stage.
The grand fire.
The city weeps, and he calls it a poem. The new Rome was founded on a grave of fire and martyrs. The Emperor's madness knew no bounds.
Larger. It must be larger than all the gods. A colossus.
Pay for your loyalty, not for your grief.
Loyalty bought with blood money. The Emperor's face hides a terrible truth.
The Pisonian conspiracy for the soul of Rome. Spies were everywhere. The walls had ears of gold. The pupil has become the monster. The conspiracy failed. The purges began. Treason is a dull word for ingratitude.
They called it justice, yet it felt like the dissolution of the gods themselves.
No.
A tyrant's vanity knows no bounds.
Did the prisoner speak of my meter?
The Emperor became the judge, jury, and executioner of his own court.
To suffer nobly is the highest art. The money flowed like water, but the people had no bread.
Where is the grain? Where is the Emperor?
A voice from history revealing forbidden truths.
They complain only because they lack imagination.
The applause had grown thin. The divine fire was fading. Hispania and Gaul, they have declared for Galba.
The legions turned. The instruments of his power became the tools of his downfall.
And so the Emperor sought his final masterpiece.
A tragedy worthy of Rome.
I served him, but I serve Rome more. Treacherous, necessary evil. He sought a perfect, theatrical suicide. He found only fear.
His nerve failed him. A pathetic display.
The stage is set, my lord.
And so, the sun set on the Emperor who burned the world for art.
His death brought silence, but the madness he birthed did not die. Rome tried to forget the fire, but the scars remained. History often buries the truth along with the tyrants.
He thought he was a god.
His golden house became a grave for his memory. Yet, the artist's eye, it left its mark.
The past is a shadow that clings to these stones.
He was a man touched by darkness.
But Mother, what was he like?
Order will return. Rome shall be Rome again.
They say he is not truly dead, that he will return.
Whispers began. The madness of one man was infectious. A monster, a hero, a madman. His story was owned by no one.
Power corrupts the mind like rust on gold.
The actor dies, but the character lives.
He achieved his final desire, a role in the eternal drama. Decadence returned, but the shadow of the pyre remained. The seeds he planted were betrayal, destruction, and obsession. To separate the Emperor from the monster, it is impossible. The simple facts are the most chilling, stark, undeniable. Art requires a sacrifice, a grand theme. He made darkness appealing. He made cruelty captivating. Only through dread can we glimpse the divine madness of the past. The true horror is not the fire itself, but the hunger for it. They rebuilt the stone. They could not rebuild the innocence. In the heart of the Empire, cruelty became currency, a fine spectacle, a distraction for the masses.
The line between divine power and utter madness had been permanently blurred.
Look. It is a piece of the old city. A relic of the past, touched by the Inferno.
The darkness here is intentional. It is a signature.
To touch his work is to touch the edge of his insanity.
We are defined by the tyrants we create and the art they leave behind.
The Grand Destroyer, a vision of necessary chaos. Rome survived. The engine of empire was too vast to fail.
The light will always return.
But the Emperor's seed, the desire for spectacle, was planted deep. And every time a man holds too much power, he looks in that mirror and sees the face of the artist. The line between divinity and depravity has always been blurred in this city. Is it truly art?
He sought to burn the world for art. He only succeeded in burning a hole in the soul of Rome.
The glorious ruin is the only true monument.
The spectacle was his only lasting contribution. Ironic monument, enduring violence.
He was buried with his last possessions, a lyre and a poem. Nero, the last of his line.
But the legend of the emperor who played the fiddle while Rome burned.
He saw not a toy, but the flames of divinity. The mat echoes through the ages.
Fire. That story became the fire itself.
It is the art of darkness.
And every new generation must choose. Or to fear the beautiful, terrifying voice that calls out of the flames.